What if I told you there's a career in tech, a really lucrative one, that doesn't require you to be a coding genius? In fact, the main skill you need is something you do every day: communicate clearly. It's a field called prompt engineering, and honestly, it's totally changing how we all interact with technology. So let's get into it. Let's break down what it is and why it's become so incredibly valuable. And when I say valuable, I mean valuable. $335,000. No, that's not a typo. That was the real top-end salary reported for a prompt engineer at a major AI company. This isn't just about a job. It's a huge signal that a brand new high-value skill has just popped up right in the middle of this whole AI revolution. So, what is this magic skill that's worth so much? Well, it's not about writing complex code. It's about writing clear instructions. It's really the art and science of knowing exactly how to talk to an AI to get it to do what you want. Think of it less like a programmer and more like an incredibly precise and persuasive director. Now, to really get why this is such a big deal, we have to look back at the problem it solved. Before prompt engineering came along, getting an AI to do something specific for, say, your business was a massive, expensive project. There was the old way, and then almost overnight, everything changed. This right here shows the massive shift. The old way, called fine-tuning, could easily cost you $500,000. It would take a whole team of PhDs months to get it done. The new way, prompting, lets pretty much anyone customize a super powerful AI in just a few minutes. No code required, and for basically zero cost. This change completely democratized AI. And this new, easy, accessible method, that is prompt engineering. It's the skill that acts as the bridge between a super powerful general AI and a very specific, valuable task you need done. It's the human touch that points all that machine power in the right direction. So, if we're going to get formal about it, here's the textbook definition. It's all about crafting the perfect instructions to guide an AI. It's kind of a mix of logic, creativity, and a little bit of psychology, trying to understand how these huge models think and how they'll react to what you tell them. This quote just nails it. It's the perfect way to think about it. The AI has basically read the entire internet. It's a genius. But, and this is a big but, it's a genius that takes everything you say completely literally. It has no idea what you meant to say. So your job as the prompt engineer is to get rid of any and all confusion and just give it those crystal clear instructions. Getting good at this really just comes down to three main ideas. First, specificity is power. The more specific you are, the more precise your result will be. Second, context is everything. You have to give the AI some context, like telling it to act as a certain character or write for a specific audience. It tunes it to the right frequency. And finally, structure shapes the output. You have to tell it how you want the information back. Okay, so let's see how this actually plays out in the real world. Because the difference between a vague, lazy request and a properly engineered prompt, well, it's the difference between getting back something totally useless and getting a really valuable asset. The quality of what you put in is directly tied to the quality of what you get out. So here's our before picture, a totally vague, unfocused prompt. This is like walking into a restaurant and telling the chef to just make some food. I mean, yeah, you might get something, but it's probably not going to be what you wanted. It's just a recipe for a generic, rambling mess that isn't really useful for anything. And now, look at the after. This is a whole different ballgame. This isn't just a question, it's a full creative brief. We're layering in details. We've defined the audience, executives. We've set the format, a LinkedIn post. We've specified the tone and even told it what to focus on. It's a complete recipe for what we want. And the result? You go from chaos to clarity. The output isn't some generic essay anymore. It's a sharp, professional piece of content that's perfectly tailored for its purpose. That is the value a prompt engineer creates. Okay, here's another classic trap, this time for business. If you just dump a bunch of data and ask, tell me what's important, you're almost always just going to get the most obvious stuff back. It'll describe what happened, sure, but it won't give you any real insight into why it happened or what to do about it. But look at this. Here, we're giving it a framework. We're not just asking what's important, we're literally defining what important means for us right now. By structuring the request this way, we're telling the AI to stop being a calculator and start thinking like a business strategist. And this is where you make that leap from just having data to having actual intelligence. The AI is now giving you ideas to test, actions you can take, and risks you need to watch out for. It's become a strategic partner, and all because the prompt gave it a structured way to think.
So, how can you start doing this yourself? The good news is, it's way more intuitive than you might think. All these fancy examples we just looked at can actually be broken down into a pretty simple, repeatable framework. Let's build out your toolkit right now.
This is it. This is the whole game right here. A 4-step process for crafting way better prompts. First, assign a role. Tell the AI who to be. You are an expert copywriter. That gives it context. Second, define the task. Be super clear about what you want. Third, add constraints. These are the rules, like a word count or a specific tone. And finally, specify the format. Do you want it in bullet points, a table, an email? Tell it. This is the core recipe for turning your vague ideas into valuable, predictable results. You know, when you really get down to it, this skill isn't some crazy technical thing. It's more like a new form of literacy. It's about using our very human ability to communicate with purpose to guide these incredibly powerful new tools. So, you've got the framework now. You've seen what's possible. The only real question left is, what are you going to ask first?